Hello, and today I'll introduce to you the TV series The Waltons 1971. I'll tell you about the original names and ages of the actors and how they changed in 2022. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to support us. Alright, let's get started. Ben Walton is played by Eric Scott. In 1972, he was 14 years old and now he's 64 years old.
Jim Bob had to write about his favorite person, but he keeps on saying he doesn't have one.
That sounds like a flimsy excuse to me.
He better get himself a favorite person.
Well, Mama says he has to stay at school until...
We were filming, what was it like working with that person? So we just didn't think of that. And we certainly didn't think of taking our little cameras that we had and take pictures.
Erin Walton is played by Beth McDonough. In 1972, she was 11 years old and now she's 61 years old.
It's an awful lot of writing.
Yeah, it's all to help John Boy with his sermon.
I've been thinking, Grandma, what does John Boy know about preaching a sermon?
But yes, because he was going to go off and get nominated for an Academy Award. So, so Michael O'Keefe, the great senator.
Jason Walton is played by John Walmsley. In 1971, he was 15 years old and now he's 66 years old.
If I go bankrupt,
Are you serious?
every week I lose a little more money, extend myself a little further on credit.
The friendships are the greatest gift that I took away from that experience. And meeting you was one.
Elizabeth Walton is played by Cotler. In 1972, she was 7 years old and now she's 57 years old.
Careful. I was in this one.
Your blackberries make the best ice cream in the whole world.
The whole world?
Taste and see.
Character development or something more like acting-ish. So I think those were the shows that I like to do and I'd like to remember the most.
John Boy Walton is played by Richard Thomas. In 1972, he was 21 years old and now he's 71 years old.
I'll tell you, Mr. Anderson, that's why I'm here. The family, we've been thinking about it. We decided we made a mistake.
People wanted to use the show to illustrate a point about public decency or the way television should be.
John Walton Sr. is played by Ralph Waite. In 1972, he was 44 years old, and sadly on February 13, 2014, Waite died in Palm Desert, California at the age of 85.
We've always taught our kids that learning is important. And here their daddy hasn't even graduated from high school. Sort of like hitting a home run and finding out you missed second base.
Actors that brought to people some sense of the dignity of life and the importance of love and education, those values that were permeated.
Jim Bob Walton is played by David Harper. In 1972, he was 11 years old and now he's 61 years old.
Hey, Daddy, you want some help?
I'm all right.
Let's see what you got there.
No, thank you.
You were?
Yeah, I think I was 9. If I look back and do the math, did we start filming in 71?
Yes.
Mary Ellen Walton is played by Judy Norton. In 1972, she was 14 years old and now she's 64 years old.
This is different.
We're not going very far away. We'll be home practically every weekend.
That's what my brain keeps telling my heart.
Goodbye.
And wanting to not really do anything to destroy that sense of what the show created because it was very real.
The grandfather is played by Will Geer. In 1972, he was 70 years old, and sadly he passed away on April 22nd, 1978 at the age of 76.
Chicago, along about 40 years ago, and they had a dancer there too, like this Sally Rand. They called her Little Egypt. She raised quite a ruckus too.
They finally got me into a category. You know, when you get to an age, this age, you appreciate things of that sort. I thank all the old people all across the country, the fathers and the mothers.
Esther Walton is played by Alan Corby. In 1972, she was 61 years old, and sadly she passed away at the age of 87.
from there, you know. And that all that begatting went on for the longest time, and until they peopled the earth. And you know what people are. Yeah. And very few people got it, unless they've known me for years. But I was sitting there trying to think of what to say because my friend had a hunch that I was going to win.
Olivia Walton is played by Michael Learned. In 1972, she was 33 years old, and now she's 83 years old.
Hey? It's very sophisticated for a third grader.
Must be nice to have an education.
You're still bothered about that diploma.
The wrong child or do anything. And he said no. And then I said, you're lying. And he said, well, sometimes if she got really upset.
Ike Godsey is played by Joe Conley. In 1972, he was 44 years old, and sadly he passed away on July 7, 2013 at the age of 85.
Like it's going to be a nice sunshiny spring day. You know, I sure hope we get some deliveries in. We're getting awful low on stock. Poor Beth, you're putting nickels in where the quarters go there.
When it came time to go in and meet the producer, I shook hands and he just sat there and looked at me for a while.
Emily Baldwin is played by Mary Jackson. In 1972, she was 62 years old, and sadly she passed away on December 10, 2005 at the age of 95.
More important than the nurturing of artistic endeavor. I can just hear him saying it. He had such an authoritative voice.
What do you think when the actors in the Waltons have aged significantly? Leave your comments below this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and press the bell to wait for our next videos. Thank you.